Found this in an old desk, thought it was funny. Treasure Valley residential market hits reality in '07, but outlook looks good for 2008. It's like in the Big Short where they're talking about the gully. It's just a gully. It'll bounce right back. It's a gully. There's so many. If you are into stocks, crashes, financial history, anything like that, there are so many funny headlines from 2007, 2008. So many. I mean, I talk about it a lot, but like one of the reasons I don't immediately jump to accept all the headlines you read from economists, etc., is, I think I tweeted this at somebody. This is a post that says, economists see clear sailing for the US economy. And this guy tagged me in it. So I just responded with this. Economists, jobs report confirms soft landing. March 9th, 2007. It's happened before. You know what I'm saying? History's happened before. We've had the exact same thing where most economists say the exact same thing. Everyone tells us the jobs numbers are good. Then they get revised down, which they did recently for more than that. 10 straight quarters, 10 straight months. The last time that happened was '07. We had that many in a row. But I do think I would probably bet that everything holds up till the elections. And that's something I underestimated when I was thinking about this year. I didn't estimate the impact of an election year and what that means and what will be done to make it different. What exactly is the jobs report? It's like a monthly report that shows how many new jobs were added and lost in the economy. It's kind of a barometer for the health of the economy. People think of it like it's just some hard and fast number. They just collect all the exact data and they give it to you. But in fact, it's very much survey based and statistics based. So the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, will do things like use the birth death adjustment, which means if a new company was, quote, born, as in created, usually they'll say usually a new company hires a certain number of people. So because we know that like 100 new companies were created, there was probably 8,000 new jobs, right? Because each company hires 800 people, whatever. But it's all very vague. One flaw in that model is that like maybe one reason there's a lot of new companies being made is that a lot of independent contractors who drive Uber or do OnlyFans are creating companies for their one-person operation. I mean, I have a company, but I'm not hiring a bunch of people. Do you understand? And yet they're still acting like it's the old model where a new company would mean new jobs. And so there's just many flaws in the way the BLS calculates these things. And they put the numbers out, and then later on, after they've gotten more accurate data, they will revise the numbers up or down. And generally, when the BLS revises the numbers, whether it's up or down is usually a coin flip. I mean, in an average year, it'll be like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down to get closer to average. But recently, it's been down, 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 down. It's always revised down. It's never revised up. It makes you learn to trust the numbers a little less. You had a good question? What's your question, Dr. Battle? Can you explain how a job gets added or lost? Where I work, jobs open up based on like the company's needs and budget for labor. I don't think anyone is getting elected and creating so many jobs my coworkers double somehow. So where are these jobs popping up at? You're right that a job gets created when a business needs someone to do something. So when presidents say they're going to create jobs, they mean they're going to make conditions good enough that new businesses form or American businesses do better, so they're growing, so they need more people. They're not going to like force you to add 10 people to your company or whatever. They're going to grow the economy such that there are many new jobs being created. They should say that then? I guess they should. Maybe they should be more clear. The government does create, the government will have new jobs, but that still comes from increased activity in something, you know. Could we grow the economy so that more weed is created? That's powerful. I think maybe you should be Biden's running mate to give him a little more chill factor. Like if he goes, we're going to grow the economy in my next 4 years, and you go, we're going to grow more weed in the next 4 years. He's Joe Biden and you're Joe Hayden. That's pretty good. There could be something there. But and then another thing for the jobs report while I'm on it, so while I'm rambling, I guess, the jobs report also doesn't distinguish very clearly between full-time and part-time jobs. So like it might be like the total amount of jobs in the economy grew by 200,000 this month. But then you look into it and it's like part-time work went up by 400,000, but full-time fell by 200,000. So it's like, okay, yes, there are more total jobs, but number one, that number is going to get revised down like it has in the past 10 months. And number two, it's like there are less full-time jobs. And that is what people are starting to really dig into. It's like nobody likes being told that everything is good. There's never been more jobs than ever. When they look around, it's like, no, there might be jobs, but a lot of them suck, or they don't want, like, people want career jobs, or they want like steady full-time employment, room for growth. And those jobs are more scarce. Those guys are more difficult. People are definitely having trouble finding more of those jobs. Not that they don't exist. I mean, unemployment rate hasn't even gotten bad yet. I am a firm believer that it's going to rise, and that's going to be the straw that breaks everything. I think that everything rests on the true unemployment rate, and I think it's worse than they say, but it's not bad yet. But once it gets bad, that's when people can't keep up the debt payments. And that is just what happens when you raise interest rates, and they have. You can delay it, but that happens. I've been looking for journalism jobs during my last year of university, and I can't find postings for things that aren't just screen rant slop jobs, and shit is awful. I mean, journalism is extra tough right now, bro, because they just haven't found a business model that makes good money outside of maybe like high-end subscription news. You know, like New York Times, they're actually more profitable than ever. You know, FT, there's like a few places where it's like you can pay, and then there's enough people want that they can hire. But like ad-supported journalism is dead dying. They all make their own Substack or Twitter account, or yeah. And the dirty secret, yeah, Petulant Puppet mentions it. The dirty secret, New York Times makes a ton of money and it's doing really well. And they always say it's like journalism is thriving. But if you look into it, it's like crossword puzzles are thriving. Everyone subscribes for the crossword puzzles and the games and the Wordle and the connections, and they're crushing on that, and they're not real, and the journalism's like a bonus. So that's kind of fine. I mean, if the New York Times can use fun daily games to keep real journalists employed and working on stories, that's a win. I have no problem with that. But end of the day, it's worth noting that like I think half or more of their subscriptions only use the games. This is the New York Times bundle, global time spent on the app. The green bar is games. So it's over half on games, a little bit on cooking. The news is, you know, steady, if not down from earlier years. And then a little bit on the Athletic. Yeah, just interesting stuff. But again, I don't have a great answer for you. I assume though, you know, there's a human need for like trusted, reliable journalism. People do want it on some level. So somebody's going to figure out a business model. And in some ways they kind of have. I mean, Substacks are working. Some pay-to-win subscriptions are working. So if you can find a way to work at one of those places that a little more future forward, it's probably better if you can. But I mean, you know, you're just starting out to do what you can. Nah, I want misinformation fed to me 15 to 60 seconds at a time. Yeah, I think if you want to be a great journalist, you should probably get on TikTok and try to condense every nuanced subject into 15 seconds, ideally with a dance and ideally over the top of some other clip. That would be great because then everyone can enjoy it and be an expert on it without getting bored. I mean, the best thing you should do is, this is the key to being a great TikTok journalist, is to see an article about something. Don't bother reading the article because that's too waste of time. Just look at the headline and then have the article appear behind you and then repeat what the article headline says. Then just go off that. Just start rambling whatever your first thoughts are about that headline and then say, what do you think? If you want to be a TikTok journalist, just make sure you have a curated RSS feed of some new articles. And then, yeah, put that behind you, read the headline, and then say whatever you think that headline means. Completely make it up with no expertise and let people in the comments debate it, get reacts. It's good. Should I blame the woke or try to be more both sidesy? You can blame the woke, you can blame Trump, or you can be both sidesy. And the way to be both sidesy is at the end, ask, what do you think? This is the key to online content creation, okay?